a dissertation of 10,000 words on a topic which is relevant to the student's own country or region and which falls within the syllabus of the LLM program.
What I teach during my visit is carriage of goods by sea. This is a private law subject, and of course most of the people who come here are either public lawyers or have careers which involve them in what I'd call public law. Nevertheless, they need to know about private law, and in particular about carriage of goods by sea, because this pervades all the arrangements made about ships, which are all dealing with mercantile matters, unless of course they're naval. So I regard this as being an important course for the students to do. They come from all over the world. They are very often experienced, hard-working, and it's extremely interesting to meet many of them. So overall, it's a great pleasure to me to be doing this course here.
I first visited IMLI in 1995 and delivered a series of lectures to a much smaller group of students then than they have now. I was fascinated by the concept of IMLI, impressed by the quality of the teaching and by the enthusiasm of Professor Attard and his colleagues in their teaching. I've come back most years since then and have been very much struck by the improvement in the quality of the intake and also inevitably by the improved quality of the teaching. And the net result is a very fine institution doing, I believe, wonderful work. And I remain a board member, and that gives me great pleasure, gives me an opportunity to see how the Institute is developing, and I hope contribute a little to the thinking in that connection.
At the end of every academic year following graduation, the new IMLI graduates and some members of the faculty undertake a field trip to London. The field trip introduces IMLI graduates to major shipping institutions such as the Lloyd's of London, Lloyd's Register, the UK P&I Club, Trinity House, the International Oil Pollution Compensation Funds, IOPC funds, as well as the IMO. At IMO, graduates have the opportunity to meet the Secretary General, as well as members of the Legal Division, the Technical Cooperation Division, and Geographical Focal Point representatives. During the field trip, the graduates become acquainted with the mechanisms and practical operation of all the theory which they had studied during the academic year, making this a unique opportunity for the graduates to develop contacts within the field of international shipping. IMLI offers a research degree program leading to the award of the degree of Magister Juris, M.Jur, in International Maritime Law and the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Ph.D., in International Maritime Law. Candidates are expected to undergo their studies in IMLI's research degree program with a high degree of independence. Thus, the program can be largely undertaken from abroad. Candidates are assigned individual academic supervisors drawn from a list of internationally recognized experts. Studies for the M.Jur degree are to extend over a period of 1 academic year after enrollment in the program. The M.Jur degree is awarded upon the successful examination of a dissertation of between 30,000 and 50,000 words, containing original contributions to knowledge in a subject within the syllabus of the Institute. Prospective candidates for the M.Jur program must hold a first degree in law or a master's degree from a recognized university. Studies for the PhD degree shall extend over a period of not less than 2 and not more than 4 academic years after enrolling as a candidate for that degree. The PhD degree shall be awarded upon the successful examination of a thesis of between 80,000 and 100,000 words, containing original and significant contributions to knowledge in a subject within the syllabus of the Institute. To be eligible for enrollment in the Institute's PhD program, an applicant must have been awarded or listed for the award of the MUr degree, with a recommendation from the MUr examiners that the candidate be enrolled in the PhD program.
One of the gratifying things is to see the level of examiner that we have been able to recruit for the PhDs. We have professors, believe me, from the leading universities of the world. Oxford and Cambridge in the United Kingdom, the continental universities, and universities in the United States.
The Advanced Diploma in International Maritime Law program, which was launched in 2005, is designed to benefit professionals, including those at the most senior levels, who are involved in maritime practice both in the private and in the public sectors, and who, because of their careers, are unable to be away from their jobs for any length of time in excess of a few weeks per year. Bearing in mind the differences between the public and private dimensions of international maritime law, the program is split into 3 distinct strands: Advanced Diploma in International Maritime Law Public, Advanced Diploma in International Maritime Law Private, and Advanced Diploma in International Maritime Law General. Upon admission, candidates are required to select one of these strands. Teaching at IMLI's LLM program is based on the modular system. It is therefore possible for a small number of applicants to attend these modules as self-contained courses. These courses are open to non-lawyers as well. IMLI has often been required by governments and international bodies to organize specific short-term courses, which focus on subjects covered by its academic syllabus. In such cases, courses are tailor-made to meet the specific requirements of the organizers and to bring them up to date with the latest developments in their areas of interest. Upon completion of the course, students are issued a certificate of attendance.
I have been lecturing at the International Maritime Law Institute for 13 years now, and it has always been a wonderful, fulfilling experience. Since I started lecturing at IMLI so many years ago, the institution has gone through a tremendous success and reputation, confirmed and emphasized on many occasions by General Assembly of the United Nations and by the academia. IMLI is a unique place, bringing together students from all over the world and connecting different traditions, cultures, legal systems, languages. And while the politicians and many others are just talking about the importance of intercultural dialogue, IMLI is in fact doing it. I can say without hesitation that we here at IMLI, we don't educate only minds, we do educate also hearts. And in short, IMLI can be described with just one word: brilliant.
Application forms for all the Institute's programs and courses may be found on IMLI's website or may be sent by the Institute upon request. The application forms should be duly completed by the candidate and sent to the Institute together with the necessary supporting documentation. When all criteria for admission have been met, including clearance and confirmation of financing, acceptance for admission will be notified in writing to the candidate.
It is a distinct privilege and a high honor to be once again back in Malta and to be able to address the International Maritime Law Institute. Today, I spoke of the common heritage of mankind, which is particularly dear to Malta, as was Professor Arvid Pardo, who launched this idea at the United Nations General Assembly, and the principle of the common heritage of mankind found its way into the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The International Maritime Law Institute in Malta, over the years, has been playing a very important role in promoting maritime law, including the law of the sea. Under the wise guidance and able leadership of Professor David Joseph Attard, this institute has become renowned worldwide. Generations of young international lawyers have been trained at IMLI with respect to maritime law and the law of the sea. And I would like to wish IMLI all future success in its endeavors, and I'm sure its successful teaching operations and scientific research and studies will continue and benefit all countries also in the future.
I would like to underline the importance and the positive role of IMLI because there are different advantages which may be underlined. The first one is that education is the primary goal of IMLI, and you know that without the proper education, transmission of knowledge, the rule of law will fade away. You need to know the rule of law in order to advise your government, to advise your clients properly. A second advantage is that participants in programs organized by IMLI are not just lawyers, they are selected. And some of them have already an experience in law of the sea matters, advising their governments and handling concrete matters relating to the law of the sea. There is not only education, but also training and capacity building, which is also very important in order to promote the rule of law in law of the sea matters. That's a very important element in this respect. And in the program also this careful balance between maritime matters and also public international law matters relating to the law of the sea is very important. It's difficult to advise to do your job properly without knowing what exists under the umbrella of maritime law, shipping law, and at the same time not knowing what is relevant and what would be used under public international law. This combination is also a very strong point of the program of IMLI, and personally I would say that this program should, and the importance of the program should be emphasized, encouraged and developed.
The Institute's library was set up concurrently with the establishment of the Institute. Presently, its holdings include most of the major textbooks in the field of international maritime law written in the English language. During recent years, the library has expanded its acquisition of texts on different legal systems as part of the Institute's endeavors to develop it into a comparative maritime law library. Apart from the acquisitions made by the Institute and the book donations obtained from different law firms, institutions, organizations and distinguished personalities, the library has been expanding its collection of national maritime legislation donated by students. The library holdings are organized in a user-friendly manner following the LLM program structure. The library has a comprehensive book section, a law report section, a periodical section, and research and internet access facilities. The IMLI Library is now recognized as one of the leading specialized research libraries in the field of international maritime law.
The facilities offered here are, I think, extremely good. There is a very good library in which I'm sitting now, and I can recollect bringing a well-known maritime lawyer here for the first time, and he said, "Is all this material really available for just 35 students?" And the answer is it is. It's an extremely good library which I'd like to work in myself for very long periods if I had the time.
IMLI's contribution towards the objectives of the IMO is best reflected in the work of its graduates, as they, in turn, contribute towards the implementation of international maritime standards in their respective countries. Furthermore, IMLI, through its graduates, is also an instrument towards the progressive development of international maritime law. Therefore, in international fora, it is not uncommon to find IMLI graduates leading national delegations to IMO meetings and diplomatic conferences. At the 97th session of the IMO Legal Committee held at IMO headquarters in November 2010, 21 IMLI graduates represented their countries before the committee and made a significant contribution to the committee's deliberations. During the same session, an IMLI graduate, Mr. Kofi Imbia from Ghana, was appointed as the chairman of the legal committee. The Italian delegation, which proposed Mr. Imbia for the position, highlighted the fact that in 1991 he was awarded the degree of Master of Laws, LLM, with distinction by the IMO International Maritime Law Institute and received the IMO Secretary General's Award for Best Overall Performance. During the 61st session of IMO's Technical Cooperation Committee, Mrs. Nancy Karigithu, an IMLI graduate from Kenya, was unanimously elected as its new chairman for the year 2012-2013. In December 2011, the Assembly of States, parties to the Rome Statutes of the International Criminal Court, elected Ms. Fatou Bensouda from the Gambia as the new prosecutor of the court. In her bio announcement, it was noted that Ms. Bensouda holds a master's degree in international maritime law from IMLI and is the first international maritime law expert of the Gambia.
I think it's a tribute to the quality of the work done here that the current chairman of the IMO Legal Committee is a graduate, and at a recent meeting it was possible to draw other graduates from national delegations to have a group photograph.
I really think that it's unique that IMO has set up this institute. I remember that from reading the document that this institute has trained some 600 students. Now, these students are a big asset, really, to IMO. In terms of future capacity building, I really think that we should make full use of the knowledge of this institute and also of these individual students. I hope my visit will open a new chapter for the possible cooperation between IMO in the areas of technical cooperation and IMLI.
IMLI has created a unique worldwide network of maritime lawyers that is leaving its mark on the harmonization and implementation of international maritime law. In most major ports of the developing world, the international maritime community can now rely on the expertise of an IMLI graduate.
Many IMLI graduates attend IMO meetings and representatives of their governments and play a significant part in the discussions, particularly on legal issues. We benefit a lot from their input and we are proud of them.